What is up, you guys? It is Rai here, and today I will be talking about a theory, a One Piece theory, specifically a One Piece Devil Fruit theory. And I will be talking about the Straw Hat Roronoa Zoro. That's right, Luffy's first mate. And I'm gonna talk about a theory about Zoro potentially getting a new Devil Fruit. But before that, guys, let me just warn you right off the bat. I live in a really noisy neighborhood, so if it gets a little noisy in this theory, this video, I apologize in advance. And also, if this is your first time here and you enjoy anime discussions, reviews, theories, and AMVs, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into it. First of all, I really have to ask, does Zoro really need a Devil Fruit? Because most people will disagree, but I compare him to Luffy even without a Devil Fruit. It's a little absurd, it's a little far-fetched because Luffy is way stronger in Gear 4, but given if he's not in Gear 4, I think their strength is pretty even. So, does he really need a Devil Fruit? And the reason we have to ask this question is because Luffy and Roger have a lot of similarities. I would argue that he's Roger's reincarnation, and that history is repeating itself. I believe that history will always repeat itself, so if history is repeating itself, we also know that Roger's first mate, Rayleigh, does not have a Devil Fruit. He can swim in the ocean, he's very overpowered on his own without a Devil Fruit. And I think Oda wants to potentially take that route with Zoro as well. I think he wants Zoro to be overpowered of his own power. No Devil Fruit needed, just Haki and his inhumane strength. Also, another thing we have to keep in mind is Luffy is the main character, and I really believe with all my heart that the only thing separating Luffy from Zoro right now is, of course, Luffy's advanced Haki improvements. Zoro didn't quite improve his Haki yet, none of them, but he will eventually. But the real difference, I believe, in their strength comes from the Devil Fruits. Because if Luffy didn't have the Gum Gum Fruit, he wouldn't have been able to go Gear 4th, which I believe gives him the edge. So of course, if Zoro gets a Devil Fruit that gives him additional power and a really good Devil Fruit that makes him somewhat overpowered, it could potentially mean that he will be as equal in strength as Luffy, which I don't think that's gonna happen. That's not allowed to happen. The main character should always be stronger. He can have a rival though, so I believe Zoro could potentially be a rival, but Zoro is not Luffy's rival. He's his first mate, he's his first companion. So he is in no way able to be Luffy's rival, but I do believe they are able to push each other to achieve greater strengths, you know, push each other forward. I do believe that's a good idea. So yeah, what would happen if Zoro does manage to get his hand on a Devil Fruit? I believe the power scaling would be really equal. I really believe that would give him the edge he needs to reach Luffy. So I don't know, I mean, if he gets that Devil Fruit, the power gap will really shrink a lot. So that's one of the main reasons I believe he will not get a Devil Fruit. My dogs are barking. I have like 4 dogs, guys. They are annoying me right now, because right now when I want to make this review, they want to bark. Okay, they quiet down a little bit. So if Zoro gets a Devil Fruit, when will he get it and where? Most people have been speculating that Wano will be Zoro's arc. You know, this will be the arc that Zoro will, you know, shine, get his time to shine. He'll get a higher bounty because he will do something amazing. And I still believe he will do something amazing. So I also believe that this is the arc that Zoro has to potentially get a Devil Fruit. And of course, I mean, it could be a little me going way over my head, but Kaido is known to make the smiles. He's known to make a lot of Devil Fruit, so it could be the case that Zoro could potentially get the opportunity to eat a Devil Fruit in this arc. I mean, why not? Luffy, of course, has gotten his upgrade with Gear 4 Snake Man. Even Sanji got an upgrade with his, well, he's gonna get an upgrade with his suit, you know. Spoilers to the anime watchers, please, it contains a little spoiler. Why wouldn't Zoro get an upgrade? No, he deserves an upgrade as well. It could be Devil Fruit or it could be Haki, either one is good. But I believe he does deserve some type of power up. So this is where things get a little tricky. If he gets a Devil Fruit, which type of Devil Fruit should it be? Because we all know there are 3 types. We got the Paramecia, Logia, and the Zoan types. So which type should it be? Of course, if he gets a Devil Fruit from Kaido or the Beast Pirates, because the smiles and all of that, if he gets a Devil Fruit from them, it will most likely be a Zoan type. But I don't really think he's gonna get a Zoan type. I believe a Paramecia would fit Zoro best, and here's why. I came up with 3 potential Devil Fruits that Zoro will be able to get. It would benefit him because he's like a sword style user. So let's get into them. The first fruit we have is the Toki Toki no Mi. And yeah, you already guessed it. Its previous owner was Kozuki Toki, which was Oden's late wife. And this Devil Fruit pretty much lets you time travel, lets you control time. Now, why would this Devil Fruit be a perfect Devil Fruit for Zoro's? His style, his swords. He's a swordsman. Why would it be perfect for his combat style? Is of course because he can probably slow down time or jump into the future at which time he wants to be, or back into the past. I don't know how it works exactly, but I believe he can do both if he wanted to. And you can just imagine him being in front of an enemy, fast forwards through time, and the enemy's already cut into pieces. It adds to his combat abilities. I mean, that would be an amazing Devil Fruit if he gets to master it or use it right. I believe Zoro could potentially be overpowered with this Devil Fruit. Second Devil Fruit will be the Nagi Nagi no Mi. And of course, you guessed it as well, the previous holder was Rocinante, Don Quixote Rocinante. And the reason I believe this Devil Fruit would be amazing for Zoro as well is because it's silence. Rocinante was able to completely silence everything around him. And Zoro, most of the time, he's not jumping around like Luffy. Luffy jumps around like a monkey, and he can go from one spot to another in an instant. And in Gear 4, Luffy travels like really fast. But Zoro, usually, most of the time, you see him running on the ground. And he makes noise when he's running, right? So imagine him being completely silent. I mean, there's an enemy unless he's watching him. And yeah, usually the thing is Zoro doesn't cut enemies from the back. But you can imagine Zoro just running and you are not hearing him. But the moment you realize he's there, it's already too late because he's about to cut you. And Zoro's cuts are really fast, so I believe that would add to his ability as well. And lastly, the third Devil Fruit that I had in mind is the Gatsu Gatsu no Mi. And this one, the previous owner was Bill. Well, I'm not sure if he's dead or not, but he had it. And basically, this is the Smelt Fruit. And of course, you're gonna argue with me because that was a filler episode. It's not canon, but the Devil Fruit was introduced. So I believe the Devil Fruit is out there somewhere. And basically, this ability pretty much lets the user melt its body and they can create whichever objects they want. And that's pretty amazing because we saw Bill in the filler create swords out of his body, which is amazing because Zoro had a tendency to break or lose his swords, or they get stolen. And of course, he doesn't fight with his hands. He's a swordsman. And having this ability, he could immediately produce some swords out of his own body, make them into black swords using his armament haki, and voila, there you go. He has 3 or 4 or how many swords he wants. He can lose them as many times as he wants, he'll just make more. That would also be a perfect Devil Fruit for Zoro. But guys, personally, I really don't think he's gonna get a Devil Fruit. I really think Zoro's gonna be overpowered on his own strength, his own brute force, and amazing haki at some point. I really don't think he's gonna get one. But if he does, I believe potentially those 3 Devil Fruits that I mentioned would be the best choices. Of course, it's open for any Devil Fruit. It can be any Devil Fruit out there, but those 3 would be amazing if he managed to get his hands on one of them. But yeah guys, that was pretty much it for this theory. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. And of course, if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye guys.